It's almost look like on a daily basis we have new AI models that will take our image or prompt and creating 3D models. In this video, I want to take you through my process and workflow, how I get it prepare image to later generate with AI and creating truly 3D models. As well, we're going through different type of generation and see does creating professional level mesh worth it and what is the difference on all these steps. As well, we're going to look on analysis of the meshes. What's the problem there? Does it have any broken connections, other things? Also, how we can optimize to use for our low polygon games or 3D printing. And I will have a very interesting surprise or kind of cool project in the end where we can take a kit drawing and process with our AI to create it a cool and very unusual model for us in 3D that is truly showing potential of AI on this level to recognize truly abstract images and transfer them in 3D world. For mesh analysis, I'm going to use MeshLab. It is a free application and I will provide for you a link down below so you can go and download it for yourself. If you do like these applications, you can show this by supporting the creative team, and they do have some way to do this, reward their efforts. But you don't necessarily need it. It's completely free applications. You can download it and use it as for analysis and optimizations of the meshes. To work with images, I found out that actually Gemini perform better at this time than ChatGPT. ChatGPT have too many hallucinations and sometimes does not produce result that I wanted. So I will going to use a Gemini, and you can also use this for free. As conversion from the image to the 3D, we're going to utilize High Items 3D, and we're going to check all of the different new models they updated, including 1530C Pro. We'll see what different, and does the Pro version make any different from a low resolution, and when also you want to use all of this. This also new updates, including a Multiview, which will quite a bit utilized when we start creating different models to have additional depth. Again, a link for all of this will be down below, and you can use them to receive extra credits. Let's begin from our basic to create models. And I decided to create action figures, and let's go look a little bit closer on the prompt because it would help you if you start creating your model for the printing. I create action figure, isolated on a white because I don't want distractions or any floating elements. Photorealistic look, Viking with classing, just description. I also like to use a pedestal because when I'm printing, I like them standing. Holding very hard egg in it's already. If you look a little bit more, you can see right here I specify it is ready for the 3D printing, no flying or separating parts. This is work very well, and when we look on some additional models that I created, and you can see some anime style, all is fun and different things, that when we specify for 3D printing, it's usually produce very good image without any particles or flowing elements, or they do connect it, which is make much easy to print. Otherwise, you will need it use additional software to link those parts in your printing. Also, I like to process 3/4 kind of rotation, not straightforward. This way, it's provide a better depth for us in a model. But if your sketch or image have it flat like right here and does not have it any depth to this, that is okay. I'll show you later how we can work with this. After you create model, you can just analyze, see if you like it. If you like this model with a new High Item 3D Multiview, we can add additional side back views. They're optional, but they do help because they can provide additional information on how, for example, look back of the code or side, and also in most important positions of the hands and fingers and some other limbs. After we're creating additional figures, I usually ask for the ChatGPT or Gemini, just create a different side, like create from the back. And you can notice Gemini performed quite a bit well without changing pose. So exactly the same pose, only look from back. My experiment with ChatGPT, it sometimes do change poses, so they not reflect exactly the same. However, here you can see we have a back view, and we can create another sides. Here after this we become two little bit hallucinations from the AI. When we start creating, if I ask for a different site, sometimes it does not create it. So it does not always like to create 4 sides, but 3 sides it's more than enough for us, because we have it our front view, back view, and side view. After you generate images and save it on your drive, we can go ahead and upload it to our Hide 3D. We're going to Multiview right here. We won't use it portrait, just general creation, because we're creating a full-size figure. And we can go ahead and start uploading our images. In my case, I'm using 3 images: front view, back view, and a side view. Right side, be specific. You can also create a left side if you have it, or reposition. Even 2 sides, just back and front, will already produce great result. And in many cases, actually, I'm just using even just 1 view. But using 1 view not necessarily will create very good back view and maybe miss some of details. After this, let's make selections for what we want to generate. Notice 1.5, it's one model, and I suggest for you to use it because it is have quite a bit improvements on a mesh structure. Next to this, we have the resolution. 512 is not bad. It's great, very fast and a nice model. So it's okay to preview some of these models, and we'll just compare them in a second between all these generations. Next, we have a high resolution, 1024p3, which is actually, as I've explained, it's a balanced general usage. Next, we have a higher model, 1536, and Pro, which is supposed to create a clear, very nice element. Tell you ahead, all of this will have it very fast, slower, slow, and very slow. So this may take a little bit time, not too bad, but it's still processed on the servers, but it will create huge amount of polygons, but better, definitely better quality. And if your model have it, for example, colors or anything, and you want to create a texture, you can enable and select texturing. Notice selecting different models will change amount of the points you're using or credits, and maximum it can be 70. So it's not bad per one single model. And if you are a subscriber on Pro, you have it about 4,000 credits or other things, so you can create quite a bit amount of the models for this for you to use. Okay, after we're done, just and have it all your selection. Well, we don't need texture in this case. Let's go ahead and click generate, and here is our result. We're going through all of them. So first, you can see it's a 512. It is their lowest resolution, and we can't see this. Definitely you can see it's a little bit less resolution, but keep in mind it's still be quite a bit high dense polygons. I wish high item have it also around here, the mesh preview, and they may have it in some other time, but not at this moment. If you for some reason don't like this model, for example, if I go closer, I can see it is mess up with a hand. It did not place them there. So then you can free regenerate. You can have it up to 4 generations, included your first. So then we generate this. If you want to add texture afterwards for this specific model, you can click here. And this is actually it's what I recommend you to do, because when you generate, let's say if you're going on first and generate here and generate with the texture, models maybe does not have it properly positioned on the fingers or other elements, but texture already applied to this. So if you do texture after you accepting your models, then you will save quite a bit credit. In some case, you can make like 30-40 credits, which is allowed you to generate another models in this case. So don't try to select if you want right here texture if you're not sure the model you're creating need be adjusted in this case. And after you are accepting, you can click and generate texture just for this model you like it. After you finish generate, you can share with other people or select what format you want it and download it. GLB, it is a standard kind of generic format, open source format. OBJ, one of the oldest and most accessible everywhere. Texture will be exported in a zip file. STL ready for print, and when I say ready for print, it is I create it, I export STL, and I print straight out, and it's work very well. FBX, more modern, which is included inside textures, and if you have animations, we don't have in this case, it will be inside this file. So wherever your application supported, you can select and click on download, that will export it. So this is just very fast overview of this information, but again, we're using new model 1.5 and this is low resolution. Let's get closer and review. Look on these portions of a chainmail, you can see some missing elements, and we also will review this model inside the mesh with a structure so you have a little bit better understanding after how mesh build. But this is our first look. We definitely can see lower resolution on a mesh creation, and it's not total optimized, but it's look quite a bit impressive. So our next one, we're going to level up. In this case, we're using 1024p3. It's definitely, if you look between these two, just look on a mesh here and we'll look on this, it's definitely can see much more details already. So it is creating. Still have a little bit problem with the hand here. And better models will perform, sometimes it's better, but it's okay because you can have it retry and create another one till it's created properly. And the reason why I think for this specific model, we just have it right like this. Actually, let's look on this image. We can click on an image and preview, see the hand. I think if we had left view, it will work much better because then AI can link this hand to the hole there. It's why we want to create as much as possible variations and sides, so provide full information or locations. Sometimes if we go from one view, the like X right here maybe cover this, and AI does not understand how to put it or start kind of dreaming or making hallucinations on the positionings. Okay. So this is our 1024, and like I say, you already can see quite a bit improvement on a facial. Look on details here, chainmail and fur. And now we're jumping to next level, 1530p. So at one time it was one of the top till they recently introducing Pro model, and this is already top notch. Look at this, our hand, it's have it properly. Finger positioning, we have it way nicer, sharper access. Same like with right there, if you look on a fur here versus this is our low resolution. It still maybe works sometimes, but this low resolution, and versus here you can see we have way better texture, putting very nice details, facial expression, I think, and like under, yep, it's connecting very good, even it does not see it. So I think this is perform a real good. We can look now on the faces, and you can see it is significantly increase of faces. So we go to original, it will be about we'll say, let's round up, says 500,000 faces on this with 250,000 verses. So we're going on this, we doubling almost this information, and faces, remember what we had before, we have it 500, and here we have it about 2 million. So it is what is 4 times more resolution, we can say, or more polygons here. And you can definitely see, you can see on the chainmail, see how it's created very well on the batch. Very nicely done. Okay, next let's go jump to the highest resolution. Well, one thing I need to point to you, you can see the hand, and I did recreate another one so you can see where it's fixed hand, but I want to show you what it is happen when you directly doing. So it's sometimes that happen. And for example, if it's happened like this, just click free retry and it will recreate. But I want to keep it on as going on original, and we can go look on the mesh. Mesh look incredible. I mean, seriously, it is Beautiful detalizations. Fur right here. Let's look on the back. Look very beautiful, very nice rendering, high details and sharp. Mostly they don't just blend in, they're creating very beautiful adjustments. And if we look interesting on the faces, notice it's exactly the same amount of faces as was on previous. So if we look right here, you have this amount of faces and you have the same amount. The difference on professional, it's more optimizing on a mesh level. So when it's well created, by processing, redistribution of the mesh, it is better in this case. Okay, so that is we previewed. We will come back to high item 3D when we look on some special items like something flat images, how they will prefer. But right now, let's go jump to the MeshLab and look on couple elements here. First, when you launch MeshLab, you maybe get overwhelmed with the stuff it can do. And no secret, it is still be some of them I'm not yet tested or using all of them. So it can get it very overwhelmed. What we need to look majority, it will contents under your filters. And you have it right here. You can see it's have it already repairing. You can run in selections. You can select. Most time we're going to remeshing, simplification, reconstructions. This is work very well. And here you can also just reduce amount of polygons or redistribution. So this is a free, very nice application that help you to readjust polygons. It does not change shape of the object except decreasing some detalizations if you're putting too low amount of the mesh, but it does perform very well. And right here are the lowest polygon mesh. We can check it's loaded. There's our faces and vertex, same what we said before. I did export this OBJ format because it does not work for me to export with texture that does not exist. If we're going ahead and switch to the mesh to preview, right there, actually, you know what, let's make mesh a little bit easy to see. We'll enable. And you can see on distribution, it does not bad. A new model 1.5 is significantly work better on positioning the mesh because you can see where's don't need it, it's have it a larger segment, and when we have it more detalizations like around there, it's dynamically apply more detalizations, more mesh at this area. So it does look already very well, very good. But of course, because of these gaps or whatever, some details won't be here as with higher resolution. Let's look on some basic analysis, and I will let you to go and experiment because it is quite a bit deep and I don't want to spend a lot of time to try explain how it's work. They do have a very nice help provider here, and I will have it another video just more specifically about these tools, how to use it. For now, just generally, you can, if you go to filters and you're going to quality measure and computations, you can find right here a lot of useful information. For example, let's go ahead and select by, and here we have it select by face. Quality, click apply, it will select it. So we can also just preview and you can modify on a quality if you need it. Let's click on preview. So you can specify and see with quality of the selected. Mostly it's depend on your selections. It could be applied to more complexity or for example some broken elements. It's just depend what you like it. This is provide very nice visual look on the mesh, how it's built, and if any potential problems. Let me tell ahead that is not tool for beginners. When you start working with this, some of the functionality you kind of need to know, but it's okay. Again, going to the help and look on tutorials or online will explain what is each functions does. The other very important properties to apply inside these applications, if you're going to the filters, remeshing, simplifying, and right here you can see you can make actually remeshing, simplification of the mesh, or simplification some other properties. Again, some of this can be confusing, and for this reason I would recommend just use it even like a Gemini or ChatGPT. You can copy the name of the properties, paste and just ask explain what it does. So it will actually explain you very well properties that you wanted. Well, as example right here, if we look closer, notice we are using triangles, so we don't use it quads. And let's maybe simplify even this mesh. That is work a little better if you have it very complex and you want to make a little bit nicer. So we're going to the filters, we're going to the remesh, and let's using just a simple of remesh as a remeshing, simplifying. We'll just leave it 10 iterations. And I will leave it for now just default. I want to show you example. It's take a little bit time when we apply it. On the bottom we'll see progress, and as a result you can definitely see now on how many polygons was removed and simplifications. Not all areas, like for example right here, still decide to keep it intact, but if you look general, it is quite a bit reduction in a polygon. So remember we had before how many faces, about half billion, and right now it's only 156, so quite a bit reduction. You can also modify here if you think it's too aggressive and you want to have it a little bit smoother effect, or maybe opposite, instead decreasing polygons and make more low polygons. You want to smooth some parts that just does not fit right. So in this case, same applications, you can go to the filters, go now to the smoothing, and we'll just using top and smooth for the simplicity. So go right there and let's come closer. If we click apply, you can see it's adding a little bit smoother and nice. So you can preform a little bit more. What it actually does, it will analyze better on the edges, and you can see as distributions already nicer and cleaner. Again, right now we already applied this kind of showing, and you can change all these properties as you needed. Well, I think we already took some time. Let's load it other models and check the meshes as well. This is our next step in mesh, and we can see it's about 1 million faces. Let's enable our polygons here, and we'll just switch so we can preview a little bit better. Come closer, we'll see distribution a little bit more increasing. Definitely we have it way more detalizations, and I still like how its detalizations work very well. We needed more details like on a mesh here, and compare it does applied. I think the new model what did it with items 3D, it's much more intelligent and actually distributing better. So if we run through this, and I did run through a detection, it's no broken or lost polygon, so it's all connected. It's meaning they have some quality performance. And here is our pro, so we'll look on the non-pro in a second, but right there you can see if we compare, and let's come closer, we definitely see much improvement on our textures. See where is needed around, it's add more and have it a way better and cleaner distribution. If I remember on the originals one, when we look on the first models, the almost same amount of polygon was applying with a flat or we need curve, so you have it too many unnecessaries here. I think optimization, and that's what happened on a pro model, it's running more optimizations, and we can see like right there, you can see how it's applied. It is still AI generated, so it's not a clean NF. Obviously human will do, human have it more symmetrical, so probably in the future models probably a little bit more cleaning will apply. But you can again go back in this application and you can clean up through this application and make it much nicer, smoother, or a reduction going with polygons. And here's our non-pro but with same resolution, and I actually don't expect too much different. Little bit actually, maybe it is better on the pro polygons. Yeah, I think the polygons on the pro was quite a bit cleaner, because I was expecting it's not just the polygons, I expect it's also analysis on this. But yeah, we definitely, if we can come closer, and you remember before was less polygons in other areas and more, so it did good job, but not as well as the pro. I think the pro version also going after and clean up kind of mesh, make it a little bit useful. So definitely that is ready for the print. But even on this level, And with utilization like MeshLab, you can optimize mesh and create it. Nice 3D models. Well, let's jump from this part to a little bit more fun part. And as our end project, I want to show you how you can create something a bit more fun and unusual with a 3D generator. So right here, example, and tell you this is AI created as a kit drawing, but you maybe have it your own kit drawing. So you can create, download it, this, just have it image and download it in your generation. So we'll go try with this monster. And you can see I already create several monsters. So if we click on this, you can preview. It did generate very nice. It's recognized some clouds, put it in 3-dimensional. And of course, it did work from this image. However, sometimes it's not necessarily always work as well. And if it's have it like flat view, you maybe end up with something like this. This is just a flat image. It's maybe understands some elements, but you can see it's not always will have it 3D. So add this dimension and 3D to the drawings. You can just utilize same AI engine. Doesn't matter if you're using anything in Comfy UI or using Gemini or ChatGPT. Just ask to generate monster from different size based on this image. It's actually performed very well. Don't worry too much about how close it is, because AI with a high-end 3D work very well to understanding the depth of this, and this is what creating it's add additional depth. You can also just generate different, and you can see I tried like unicorns, play with them, try different monsters, then always create side view. It does help. However, you not just need create the side views. Sometimes, and that's what happened, if you create and you ask AI have it side views, it's not necessarily exactly the same. Like see the hands may be on wrong places, or the places some that was at front put it on the back, so it can confuse. If that hallucination has happened, the best way to do is just ask and say loaded your image and ask to create 3D characters like from this. So you can see it's create little bit more pop out, because right now we have it our kind of representation of the Z depth that AI can instruct. This image can be much easy translated to 3D, so you don't necessarily need to have it sides. You can also just say, hey, have it image for me, and created this look alike of 3D image, a little bit with shadows, and then you're going to take this image, put it in a 3D and receive it. This is example when we have it at 3 reference, and you can see right here, and notice it does create 4 feet for some reason because the side was looking with 2 feet. So it is try to going closer, but sometimes the extra reference can create extra mess. So if it does not match up, like some of the angles, some arms on the back look very weird. So as example, if we're using, you remember this 3D look right here, we still have it a little bit flat, but not all the way. It's still creating somewhat 3D look for us, kind of fun and useful. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you find fun, interesting, more explanatory what is different models do as well. Hopefully you're going to create your own very weird 3D creatures from some simple sketches of 2D. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, and remember all the links down below. Bye.